We heard music from Maserati Marcus featuring Big Q with Definition of Insanity. The latest from Cell featuring Q's and Obex with Banana Clips. The title track from Suff Daddy's new LP, Pompette. And from the album LSD, that was the Leonard Simpson duo with Nobody. This is the Urban Suite, KSWAM 90.1 FM. D Major, Cheryl Meadow, Maserati Marcus in the studio. When was your first official project that you dropped, man? How long ago was that?
Man, so Converse being the first compilation album, the other ones have been pretty much beat tapes.
Mm-hmm.
And the first beat tape I put out was Beats and Sports Center, and I put that on Dat Piff, and that was literally just throwing beats together that was inspired by me watching, creating beats through watching episodes of Sports Center.
Yeah.
Just trying to emulate those, highlights and trying to take that energy of certain plays happening and then, putting the beats behind it, making it a soundtrack, Then after that, I put another beat tape called The Score, which was basically, it was honestly a dark time at my period with, whether, going through stuff at work and then, marriage and things like that. And I ended up making a 22 beats on that project.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly don't even listen to it anymore. But that's the project that got me discovered by General Stiller and of Smith and Wesson at
Wow.
Dog Down Music. And so then after that, people were kind of curious, what can you do with, some artists behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when, of course, I worked with Mr. Composition. Shout out to him. And we had our crew, Rap and Co. And then that's when I kind of started doing my own thing, and then I ended up creating Converse years later.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can almost kind of say from darkness to light.
For sure.
Since you said, no, that's how you got recognized from
sure.
that period.
Yeah.
Wow. And from that, your work with Intray.
Yes, the Blue album.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Entry. That project came out pretty incredible. Did a lot of noise. Probably one of my best projects to date. Between him, shout out to Baby Astro. We had a project called Till My Number's Called, which is one of my favorites as well.
Yeah.
Just real gritty hip hop, just bars galore. And I like making stuff like that. And with Entry, with the Blue album, we kind of threw some songs together. He ended up jumping on one of my beats from a beat tape in the past. And I was like, I like what you're doing. Come down to the studio and, let's work. And the first couple of songs we did, we was just like, yo, this is dope. It can't just be an EP. Let's do a full-fledged project. So sure enough, we made the Blue album. And, and the thing about Entry is funny because he's this, the spiritual guy that, when it comes to signs, he believes like, yo, this is meant to happen and things like that. And then, we dropped the Blue album and they got nothing but praise for it.
Solid.
Thank you. I definitely appreciate it. And he's back ready to work on the next one.
Mm-hmm.
And the stuff we got in the vault for the follow-up.
Nice.
Listen. It's crazy. It's crazy. We let some people hear it when he came through to the podcast that my not only myself but my brother Star Kennedy, we do the Cheap Suits podcast, and he was a guest on there.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the people that kind of fell through just to sit in the back and just enjoy the vibe, enjoy the show, not even being a part of it, but just wanted to hear what was going on. We played them a little bit of the follow-up, and the reaction to that was like, yo, this is up next. I'm like, yeah.
Man. Shouts out to your partner, too, as well, who's supposed to be here tonight.
Yeah, so shout out Skrills, man. Hope you feel better, man. I know you're listening right now. Salute to you with the OCD. So, big ups to him.
Yeah. Before we get into the next song, speaking of Big Q.
Yes, shout out to Big Q. We actually got another project that we're working on right now, all R&B. I'm very, very excited to work on this. The stuff that we have in the vault already is incredible. It's just everything that I want to do is. They tell you that you're supposed to level up and top your last project, but I feel like with this project that we're working on, it's definitely next level. Like my goal is to just not sound like what's going on here. I want to compete with what's going on with the majors and make it stand the test of time. That's why I wanted to be in the music. Especially as a producer, when you hear guys like a Dr. Dre or a Timbaland, when you hear their sound, you know it's them. You don't question it. So that's my kind of my goal with with the production that I'm doing. When you hear me, you know it's me. So the stuff that I'm doing with Big Q is great.
Man.
It's great.
All right, we're gonna get back into the conversation in just a bit. Let's go ahead and get into music from Entree with "Speak Truth to Power." This is the Urban Suite, KSWAM 90.1 FM.